Okay, so you brought us a truly compelling story, and one that I think speaks to how setbacks can actually spark these incredible journeys.
Mm-hmm.
And that's certainly the case with the life of St. Giuseppe Allamano,
Yeah.
a man who yearned to be a missionary, but then ends up finding his true calling in empowering others to actually fulfill that very same dream.
It really is fascinating to see how sometimes those limitations can really redirect us in a way that
Yeah.
you never could have imagined. And I think you had mentioned wanting to understand kind of the scope of Alamano's impact. And I think it's important to think of his early health struggles as kind of a catalyst that almost pushed him in this direction to empower others to essentially fulfill this unrealized dream of his own.
So we're talking about late 19th century Italy here.
Yes.
Allamano is growing up. He's surrounded by the Salesians.
Right.
He's witnessing firsthand their dedication to education, to missionary work. And he himself is ordained as a priest at the age of 22,
Wow.
full of passion, raring to go. And then he's hit with these serious health problems that
Yeah.
make traveling to the missions, which was something he deeply desired, impossible.
And yet this is where his story, I think, takes a really, really interesting turn because
Yeah.
instead of just, kind of succumbing to the disappointment of this reality, he channels that energy, that passion into revitalizing the Consolata sanctuary in Turin.
It's like he said, okay, well, if I can't go to the world, I'll bring the world here.
Precisely. And it was far more than just a renovation project. I mean, Alamano, he really envisioned this sanctuary as this vibrant hub of faith, which at the time was especially crucial in Italy, which was rapidly changing, and the church's role was being questioned at the time. So it was about reinvigorating the spirit of faith and making it relevant in this new context.
So he's pouring his heart into the sanctuary, but it doesn't stop there.
No, it doesn't stop
He
that.
begins training these young priests, and it's almost as if he's mentoring them to take on the missions that he couldn't.
And it's not just, sending them on their way. He meticulously prepares these future missionaries, understanding the demands of venturing into, unfamiliar cultures, right? It wasn't just about religious zeals for Alamano. It was about cultural sensitivity. It was about language skills. It was about really anticipating the challenges that they would face.
He's crafting this new generation of missionaries who are equipped to deal with a much more complex world.
Exactly.
And in 1901, he formalizes this vision by founding the Consolata Missionaries, the I.M.C.,
Yeah.
an order that is dedicated to carrying the faith to these new frontiers.
And the story doesn't end there.
Of course not.
In 1910, Pope Pius X himself requests that Alamano establish a female branch of this order,
Wow.
the Consolata Sisters, or the M.C.
It's almost like Allamano had created this blueprint for what effective missionary work could look like.
Yes.
And the Pope himself is saying we need more of this.
Exactly.
It's really a testament to the impact that he was having at the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
But of course, this is just the beginning.
This is just the beginning. By 1926, the Consolata missionaries were already making their mark in Africa. And this was just a glimpse of the legacy that Alamano was building, a legacy that would eventually extend to 28 countries across multiple continents.
Incredible.
But to truly grasp, I think, the magnitude of his impact, we need to fast forward a bit to a remote village in the Amazon rainforest, home to the Yanomami people.
The Yanomami people are known for their really deep connection to the rainforest.
Absolutely.
And they face numerous challenges, threats to their land disease, limited health care. And this is where the Consolata missionaries embodying Allamano's vision
Yes.
really step in to serve and to support.
And it's here in this remote corner of the world that we encounter a story
Yeah.
as terrifying as it is miraculous, the story of Sereno Yanomami.
So we're talking 1996.
Yes.
Deep in the Amazon.
Deep in the Amazon.
So Yanomami is suddenly attacked by a jaguar.
Oh my gosh.
And we're not talking like a glancing blow here.
No.
He suffers severe cranial injuries.
Yeah, and it's a stark reminder, right, of the realities, I think, that people living in these very remote regions face. That access to immediate medical care is often non-existent.
Yeah?
And tragically, in Sereno's case, it took 8 hours
8 hours.
to reach even basic medical attention.
With injuries like that, it's unimaginable.
It's unimaginable. And even when he arrives at the hospital in Boa Vista,
Yeah.
the situation's still incredibly dire.
Of course.
This isn't just, a bump on the head. We're talking life-threatening injuries.
Right, and very, very limited, I imagine, access to advanced medical care.
Absolutely. And yet, this is where I think the story takes on an even deeper significance, because amid all of this,
Yeah.
we see the Consolata missionaries, those individuals, Alamano so carefully prepared, living out his vision. 6 sisters, a priest, and a brother, they all rally around Sereno and his family,
Wow.
offering not just care, but this unwavering spiritual support.
Yeah, their faith must have been really put to the test in those moments.
Absolutely, especially given, the severity of Sereno's condition. But there's another remarkable element here, and that's the timing of this. So this all unfolds on February 7th, the very day that a novena for Blessed Allamano began.
Now, for those who may not be familiar with that term, a novena is essentially a 9-day period of dedicated prayer in the Catholic faith, often to seek intercession for a specific need.
Right.
So to have that coincide with Sereno's attack.
It's a detail that resonates really deeply, I think, within the context of faith, and to further solidify that connection to Allamano, a relic of his.
Oh, wow.
A physical object linked to him was placed beneath Sereno's pillow.
It's almost like this physical manifestation of their prayers for a miracle.
And then, as if guided by a higher power defying all expectations, the miraculous occurs.
Yeah.
After 10 days in a coma, Sereno wakes up.
Oh, my gosh.
But here's the truly remarkable part.
Oh.
He's completely healed.
What?
No lasting brain damage, no neurological deficits, nothing. A recovery so swift and complete that it defies medical explanation.
It's like the rainforest itself was holding its breath.
Yeah.
And then with Sereno's recovery, exhales this sigh of relief.
A beautiful way to put it.
By March 4th, he's out of intensive care.
Wow.
By May 8th, he's walking out of that hospital.
Back to his life, back to the rainforest.
And he lived for another 28 years.
Untouched by the trauma of that attack.
Untouched by the trauma.
It's truly remarkable.
It's not a gradual recovery, it's a sudden miraculous turnaround.
Exactly.
It really makes you think, is this a testament to the power of faith?
Yeah.
A medical anomaly,
Right.
whatever your beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to deny the profound nature of this story.
Absolutely.
It's almost as if Allamano, through these missionaries that he so carefully prepared and trained, was able to reach across both time and continents to touch Sereno's life.
And that's where I think the real aha moment hits you, because this impossible recovery, it wasn't just about Sereno.
Right.
It became this pivotal moment in Allamano's own journey towards sainthood.
He was already on that path, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he had been beatified by Pope John Paul II in 1990.
That's right. And beatification is a significant step in the process, but it's often these unexplainable events, these miracles, that really solidify a person's sainthood in the eyes of the church. It's seen as proof of their intercession, their presence in the divine.
So Sereno's story, as miraculous as it is on its own, takes on this whole other level of significance.
Absolutely. And it makes you think Allamano, he yearned to travel to the mission field himself, right? To make a difference with his own 2 hands.
Yeah.
Yet by training others, by empowering those who could go, his reach expanded exponentially, almost as if his unrealized dream was the catalyst for something far greater.
It's like this ripple effect, his vision spreading outward, touching lives across continents and generations.
Exactly. And it makes you wonder, what seemingly unattainable dreams are we holding on to, right?
Yeah.
What if those desires, even if they seem to dead end, are actually seeds for something larger than we can imagine?
That's a really powerful thought, to end on the idea that our limitations, our setbacks, might actually be redirecting us to a purpose we haven't even begun to grasp.
A purpose that, like Allamano's, might even outlive us.
St. Giuseppe Allamano, a man who turned his own personal limitations into these boundless possibilities, and whose legacy of faith and service continues to inspire this, has been a really, really fascinating deep dive.
It really has.
Thanks for bringing us his story.
My pleasure.